Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Life Stories. My name is Trent and I hope you guys are doing awesome as always. Today we got some stories coming at you from, drumroll please. Wait, we have no drums? Whatever, it's from Reddit/entitledparents. So, without further ado, let's get it started. Our first story of the day is titled, How My Aunt Commandeered Our Home Office and Other Stories. I've always contemplated posting one of my stories about her over here, but there are too many of them, and I never know which one to choose, until I decided to just start with the first one, because, well, it's the first one, and the one which had the most ramifications to it. Obligatory, English isn't my first language. Sorry for any formatting errors, sorry this is too long. TLDR at the end. So, my aunt. My aunt moved in with us 16 years ago after she divorced her husband and brought her 2 daughters with her. That wasn't the problem. We've always been a very close family. My cousins are like sisters to me, especially the older one, who was admittedly conceived because my aunt saw my mom with a baby and wanted one too. My cousin is 11 months younger than me. The problem was, we lived in what was once a 2-bedroom home. Me, my mom, and my grandparents. Just before my aunt moved in, we had some work done on the house and added 2 more bedrooms. But before that, I had to share a room with my mom. Imagine being 15 and still sharing a room with your mom. I was so excited to finally have a bedroom all to myself. And now, that was gone, because 3 more people were moving in, and we had turned one of the bedrooms into an office. The new plan was for me to continue sharing a bedroom with Mom. Grandparents had one to themselves, and my aunt and her daughters would get the master bedroom, because 3 people would be sleeping there. It was a huge suite. There would be no crowding whatsoever. That wasn't good enough for her. Nope. She decided the office would be her bedroom. Looking back, I keep thinking, why the heck no one was against that plan? I remember being slightly outraged, like I lost my own bedroom privileges. Why did she get a room to herself? But the respect your elders had been drilled into me, so I never said a word. She turned the office into a bedroom, and we thought that would be the end of it. But it never really is with entitled parents, is it? 'Cause, you see, the office was set next to the living room and had frosted glass doors. Again, because that wasn't supposed to be a bedroom. So now she wanted everyone to turn off the living room lights and keep the TV volume at a minimum starting at 8 p.m. This caused arguments every single night. My mom and I are both night owls. We're usually up till at least 3 a.m. and at the time didn't have a TV in our room, so the living room was the only place we could be. For a while, we settled that by doing whatever she wanted after 10 p.m., but eventually that wasn't enough either. All suggestions of getting earplugs or sleeping masks were denied, and she eventually called me entitled, saying I wanted to rule the house, when she was the one trying to control what happened in a room she wasn't even in. We also suggested she'd switch rooms with me, so she'd share a room with my mom and could go to bed as early as she wanted. That was also denied. So, one day, I suggested she cover up the frosted door glasses with something. Wallpaper, a curtain, anything. She said she couldn't afford it. She'd been unemployed for 10 years, living here rent-free, and having her bills paid by her kids, which was a lie. She spent money every day on cigarettes, and we found some contact paper that would do for $10. She still claimed not to have the money. I went ahead and paid for it, just so she would shut up. That settled the light issue, and we'd been keeping the noise down, and that was that, finally. I have a ton of other stories involving her, like, if my mom and I are ordering food, we need to order for her and her kids as well. But when she wants to eat takeout, she actually drives to the place and eats there with her kids, so she doesn't have to get it for us too. Though when we go out for food, we need to bring her some. How she's allowed to borrow clothes and shoes without asking, but if we want something, we need to ask. How her youngest daughter decided to live in London for 6 months, didn't have enough money to buy her ticket back, so her father bought the ticket he could afford, which was the one coming through France, and my aunt couldn't believe he didn't buy a no layover ticket, which was the most expensive one, when she didn't put in a dime to help. She was unemployed for 14 of the 15 years she lived with us, and expected her kids to pay for her things, i.e. phone bill, dog food, and vet consultations for her dog, cigarettes, etc. Mom, me, and Grandpa paid for all the house bills for that time. She says no every time we ask her to help out with Grandpa regarding taking him to the doctors, showers, etc. He had a stroke back in August last year, yet she complains he likes us better. She suffered from anxiety and says that's why she couldn't go out to job interviews, and I totally understand how anxiety can be crippling. Yet, when I start having panic attacks, couldn't sleep at night, and slept through the day, I just had to focus on other things and not let the anxiety win or I'd never get better. Sometimes she loses things like lighters, hairbrushes, painkillers, etc. And the first thing she says is, "Someone stole insert thing." It's only us at home, so you're saying we took it? She goes in our rooms. My cousins have since moved out, and I finally have my own bedroom. And if she finds anything remotely similar to what she's looking for, she takes it. My other aunt never married and never had kids, and said that when she dies, everything she owns will go to me. Her thought process was, the house we live in is my mom's, Aunt 1, and entitled aunt's name, so my mom doesn't have anything to pass down to me, which is why I'll be inheriting her stuff. Entitled aunt took offense to that, because what about my kids? Even though her kids already have enough coming to them from their dad, i.e. 2 whole houses, a car, a motorcycle, etc. A year after my dog died of old age, I decided to adopt one. My aunt tried to convince me not to get one because she already had a dog and didn't want her dog to be upset by a new dog. As I said, Grandpa had a stroke last year. So we decided to put him up in my aunt's bedroom, our ex-office, so he wouldn't have to go up 2 flights of stairs. We also put up another bed downstairs and take turns sleeping on it as to keep an eye on him. And she would take his bedroom. My aunt, being my aunt, decided she didn't like my grandpa's old room and she expected me to switch rooms with her, which was funny because when I suggested she should sleep there, in the main story above, she said she didn't like my bedroom. Except now, she wouldn't have to share it. She wanted it. We had first put the extra bed in the office bedroom to sleep next to Grandpa in case he needed something, but my aunt kept saying the room was too stuffy, so she dragged the bed out onto the living room. Yes, we now have a bed in the living room, and is now back demanding we turn off the lights and volume down when it's her turn to sleep downstairs. We agreed to do so when it's 10 p.m. Then, everyone goes to their own bedrooms, and don't you dare come down for a snack in the middle of the night, or she'll bite your head off. I turned to storing snacks up in my room for the nights she's the one sleeping downstairs. This post is already long enough, so I'm gonna stop here, but I'll post again if there's enough interest, or if I think of an instance to tell, apart from those tiny situations. If you were here till the end, thanks for reading. Geez, your aunt can't even accommodate your sickly grandpa? Come on, man. You'd think a bunch of family living in the same house would be a bit more supportive. Hope the rest of you are doing well, though. And with that story out of the way, we have time for one more. So, moving along, our final story of the day is titled, EP at Maccas. And if anybody doesn't know what Maccas is, that's just a colloquial term for McDonald's in Australia. First post here, so go easy on me. I don't really have any interaction in this one. I just observed it while I was waiting for my breakfast. I went to Maccas on Saturday morning. It was a little before 7 a.m. to get breakfast for myself and my partner. I ordered my food and went over to the pickup area. The place was packed. There was a good 15 to 20 people in there, all waiting to get their breakfasts. Our cast: EP, Karen, had the haircut and was dressed in pajamas, dressing gown, and Uggs. MG, Maccas guy, a nice guy that was just trying to get the job done while in a busy store with only 4 staff on. I had been waiting for a few minutes, not that long really considering how busy it was in there, just staring at my phone when I hear the roar of a Karen. Excuse me, is order 76 ready yet? Hello? Other people that ordered after me have gotten their food already. I've been waiting for 12 minutes. Now, as they were busy and short-staffed, MG took a few seconds to come over to the counter to where EP was standing. So of course, EP repeated herself again. Excuse me, is order 76 ready yet? Hello? Other people that ordered after me have gotten their food already. I've been waiting 13 minutes. I'll just check on where it's at with being made, MG said. He went off to check on it. He took maybe 30 seconds before he came back to the counter. At this point, everyone in the store was staring at EP and her antics. It's getting done now. It'll only be another minute. I've been waiting 14 minutes here. If I have to wait any longer, I expect to get a refund as well as the food. I didn't hear what MG said in reply to that, but her food came a few seconds later. "I want salt," she said. She got her salt and stormed out. I got my food a minute or so later, as I was the order number after EPs. And when I checked my bag, there was a breakfast burger in there instead of the bacon and egg muffin I ordered with the order number 76 on it. I told MG about it, and he said sorry about that and gave me my muffin and said I could keep the burger. Free food and karma for the Karen that couldn't just be patient for a few minutes like everyone else. Ah, sweet justice. Bystanders get bonuses, and Karens get denied their greasy fast food. Everything is slowly realigning in the world. With that story out of the way, though, we're out of time for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank all of you so much for tuning into Life Stories. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Reddit content coming your way. My name is Trent, and I hope to see you guys soon.